Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy back at it again. Welcome to another edition of You Know What's the Rico Report, brought to you by the Buffalo Fanatics. What's going on, everybody? Monday night in the books. We are back at it, and lots to talk about because Bills Mafia was sounding off today on social media. I'll tell you, there was a lot of times I was like, yo, take that person's phone away from them. That was me. You should have been asking me, yo, take that phone away from that guy because this guy is tweeting left, right, center. To be honest, I was getting sick of myself, to be honest with you. I was getting sick of myself with the amount of times I was on my phone today. I was gross. My screen time is way too high today. So I need to tone it down these next couple of days. I hope this bye week has come at a good time for me too. No different than the players, man. The players need to get away from everything and kind of chill out and get back to it. Same for myself. So if you guys are in the same position as me, smash that like. Let me know what's going on. I'm going to be joined, obviously, today by a special guest of mine. You know who, Mr. Carl Jones in the building. He'll be joining me in just a moment. We're going to get right to it in a minute. But do me a favor. Whatever grievances you have with this team, I need you to hashtag it in the chat. If you don't want to hashtag it and you're like, no, I want to get it all out and I want him to read that on my screen, you can super chat it. Super chat it. Go ahead and super chat it, and I'll read that because there's a lot of opinions that are out there, a lot of takes that are out there that are really good ones where you're like, man, that makes me really want to think about that. So here we are, folks. So without further ado, let me bring my guy Carl Jones on because we're gonna get right to it. We're gonna get right to the shiznit and get to it. So you know what to do. Let me know when you're ready to go, brother. And ladies and gentlemen, just like that, my guy joins me, Carl Jones, News 4 Buffalo. What's happening, boy?
What's good, my man? What's good? How you doing?
You know what? Listen, it's been a rough 24 hours, man, for fans.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah, I can tell. Your ex feed been telling me how you feel. I'll tell you that.
Yo, listen, sometimes I would, if I was somebody else and I see this guy constantly, I'd be like, yo, mute. I can't take this guy. And sometimes I'm like that. I'm like, you know what? I'm feeling some type of way. And I need to sometimes chill out because I'd be looking at other people like, yo, too much.
But sometimes you got to tweet through the pain, though. Sometimes you just got to tweet through it, and then you'll see through it to the other side, and you be all right. And sometimes I feel you.
Listen, there's two reasons that I do these mass tweets. Is for me to therapeutically get rid of it so I can have, you know what I mean, get it out there. Then I can return to it and say, yo, what was I saying? Oh, that time, that's that thing. So at that moment, I'm like, something must have happened right there. And I'm like, I'll go back to that because I'm not gonna remember this. I have a poor memory. But we gotta talk about this game, man. The Atlanta Falcons, yo, they might be a real deal team, or we're just not a good team, or the Bills are just not a good team. And this is what I think I'm stuck between. Are the Bills an actual bad team? And I had this conversation, and I need you to help me with this because I'm stuck in this spot. And the spot I'm stuck with is this. Do we categorize this as, yo, this was just a bad 2 weeks, guys. It's been a bad 2 weeks. Don't hold it against us. We're not like this. We're usually a better team than this. And then the other side is like, but yo, we as fans and guys that cover the team have been watching this the last 4 years. So which is it? Is it what I'm watching the last 4 years, or do I chalk it up as bad game? Because listen, you've had maybe one bad game in your career. So, and you probably remember it. Maybe you had two, maybe you had three. But sometimes we have bad games. Sometimes we have bad series. That doesn't define, you know what I'm saying, me as a player. And I feel like a lot of fans are defining this bad stretch as this team is bad. Is this a bad team, or is this just a bad stretch?
This is not a bad team. The Buffalo Bills are one of the best teams in football, but I feel you. If you're a fan, if I just want to put myself in Bills Mafia shoes for a second here, the first month of the season, they beat exactly 0 teams that are going to be in the playoffs this year, unless the Baltimore Ravens can somehow get healthy and turn things around. I still think that's a team that it's 50-50 shot that happens, right? But the Jets, the Dolphins, the Saints aren't necessarily going to be competing this year for a Lombardi trophy. And the Bills didn't, outside of that Jets game, they didn't necessarily look like world beaters. So, and then you lose the next 2 games against a division rival. You see Drake May really have his welcome to the NFL moment, but on the other side where he looked that darn good. And then down in Atlanta, everything just went to crap. So I understand. I understand, but I think that, and this can cut both ways. As long as you have 17 as your quarterback, you will always have a chance. The window is always open. The team is always going to make it to the dance. Having said that, though, there are things right now where I think they must fix, non-negotiables, in order to go to the places they want to go, and that's playing in February.
All right. So before we get right into our good, the bad, the ugly, I just want Carl Jones's thoughts, right? Because Carl is charming guy. I mean, he speaks eloquently. He gets his points across. So I want to get you watched the game and you had a moment to reflect, and you were on your way home, whether you were just chilling out on your way home, reading some things, whatever the case is. There was a moment that you had a chance to kind of sit and really go through. Give me your thoughts on this game. So, with that being said, talk to me. What were your thoughts? Now, before you do, let me set the segment up, and I want Carl Jones's thoughts. I want your thoughts. Give me a moment here. All right, Carl, talk to me. Your thoughts. And I don't want 2 words. I just want your thoughts overall on this game. Hit me.
Yeah, so I'll start on the offensive side of the ball because I think that's the unit right now that is getting the most publicity, and rightfully so. I think it's a unit that when they are cooking, which means their ground game is clicking on all cylinders, the offensive line is really controlling the line of scrimmage. There isn't a team in football that can match their heights because Josh Allen can then take them to another stratosphere, whatever he can do in the passing game. But when the running game is off schedule, I wouldn't say gets stifled, because yesterday they didn't get stifled. I still think James Cook finished with 87 rushing yards. But when they aren't necessarily humming, where they're always turning first and 10s into 2nd and 2s, or 2nd and 5s and the first downs, when it always isn't that easy, they tend to stagnate. And it's really been apparent over the last 2 weeks where the Falcons really got them off their keister a little bit. And it's much different than how the Patriots attacked. Remember last week on the same program, I said the Patriots had a real advantage on the perimeter where they had really strong DBs and they just played man coverage for a lot of that game and said, we dare you to beat us elsewhere. And the Bills did to a certain extent with Dalton Kincaid. It wasn't necessarily the same formula this week. Yes, the Falcons have a fabulous cornerback in AJ Terrell, who I think the Bills became apparent by the 3rd quarter don't throw his direction. But it wasn't necessarily that the Falcons played a ton of man coverage. I think they played one of the lowest man rates of the week. The issue lied in that the Falcons sent a shit ton of pressure. Excuse my language for a second. I believe they blitzed Josh Allen on 56% of his dropbacks per Next Gen Stats, which is the highest mark he's seen since 2021. But I also think that is an indictment on how the Falcons feel about the receivers, where they say, hey, if we send enough confusion up front, he isn't going to be able to decipher the picture on the back end because those guys aren't going to be able to pick it up in terms of a receiving core. So they got some issues to figure out in that side of the ball. I do think Dalton Kincaid will help, and losing Josh Palmer hurt as well. But I think it's bigger than those 2 guys because they weren't necessarily looking like the greatest show on turf in September when all those guys were healthy. Now, on the other side of the ball, I've talked to you for several years now. I think this is year 3 of me talking to you about the Buffalo Bills and this defense. I think I've said the same things over and over where I say, hey, man, they don't really have a lot of juice. They don't really have the S tier, all pro, even Pro Bowl caliber players. So they're going to have to make up for it in other ways, in terms of communication, in terms of being really sound in their assignments and their 111s, like Sean McDermott always likes to say. I don't think they do anything well right now, which you can point at any position group and say the corners need to play better. Cole Bishop and Taylor Rapp aren't doing well. The linebackers can't tackle. The D linemen aren't getting after the quarterback. I think there's some validity in all of that. But you point to me the position group or the thing that this defense does well at the moment, and I will hang up and listen. I think that's the bigger problem that they have right now. They have nothing that they can fall back on and just say, hey, we do this at our best, and we're just going to take it to the opposing team's offense because we do this really well. In the previous iterations of the Bills defense, they were one of the most technically sound units out there. You remember Bill Belichick talking about it, and any other young quarterback, whenever they would face a Sean McDermott defense, they would always say, this zone defense is like a boa constrictor, and they do a great job with disguise, and they're always in the right place at the right time. There were several coverage busts yesterday that just isn't up to the standard that I'm used to seeing with this Bills defense. So not only is the fundamentals not there, the players aren't necessarily playing up to their standard as well. So then you funny right there. That was a funny comment. But I think that's the issue. They weren't going to be a great unit on paper heading into this season. I don't think no one in this chat nor you would say that they were going to be some elite world-beating unit on paper. They just don't have those forces. But what they could hang their hat on is that they were going to execute their 111s and be a really superb team in the high-leverage moments. Remember last year, even though they weren't a great defense, they can get turnovers. So, yes, I say all that to say both sides of the ball didn't play well yesterday. I know the defense nutted up in the second half. But, boy, not necessarily best performance heading into the bye week.
If you're going to answer a lot of fans' questions, and the bold question is going to become, and I'll get right to it, right? And by the way, this segment was brought to you by Carl's Corner, where we have Carl's thoughts, and he gives us everything that's in that brain of his and lets us roll. So I appreciate that, Carl. So I bring this back up because now I want to get right to the goods, right? I got my man Jeff King saying, hey, man, cut the nonsense and get to the ish, right? And my man Jeff is on it. He goes, come on, gentlemen, speak the truth. I love you both, but golly. He says, F a chance. After 8 years, we should have an elite team on both sides of the ball, and we don't, not even close. So if you're going to point the finger at one side of the football or someone in particular, is it fair that you can point the finger more so during at one side, offense or defense, or more specifically a player? Or is this just an overall, and I'm going to give you an out on this one. This is an overall bad look on both sides. They didn't play complementary football.
Well, I think that second part is true. Neither unit played well yesterday, like neither. Having said that, I told you ad nauseum my expectations for defense wasn't that high this year. It just wasn't. And in order to raise a Lombardi trophy, they needed the offense to not just be good, they needed to be great, top 3 in the NFL. And I think they can still be that type of unit. But they haven't played to that standard, quite frankly, since the Jets game. They were good, but quite frankly, they haven't played to that tippy-top, best in the league standard since the fourth quarter against the Baltimore Ravens. And I think that's where they have to figure out a way to tap back into that and be that unit. So, yeah, I think all 11 guys, the offensive coordinator, the coaches on that side of the ball, have to figure out how to not necessarily just get back to what they're doing, but also evolve. And I think that's the part that I'm sure a lot of fans, you included, have wanted to say, like, yes, this running game when they're cooking is great, but what about the passing game? Since Joe Brady has come on board, he's really done a good job of elevating James Cook and the offensive line and really taking a lot off of Josh Allen's plate in the passing game. But the passing game itself hasn't become some well-oiled machine that you're really threatened by. You're threatened by Josh Allen and what he can do. And I think something can be said about the lack of talent outside, and I think there's some credits to that. But yeah, my expectations were very minimal for the defense this year, so I'm not too shocked that they're not playing well. Offensively, though, they have to play much, much better. 14 points is unacceptable.
So when you look at the construct of this roster, and the guy that's in charge of the roster, obviously goes by the name of Brandon Beane. And earlier this offseason, Brandon Beane had some choice words for some WGR hosts. And I got their names wrong the first time. I'm going to try not to get them wrong. Jeremy and I think Simon. No, Jeremy and Joe. Jeremy and Joe. All right. So let me share my screen real quick, and just to kind of give people a reminder of what took place.
That we don't have a
so
receiver.
If you guys can hear that, let me know. I'm gonna run that back just a little bit, just a tiny bit.
We had 2 draft parties, so we're kind of tired too. You know, we were up late with you in the first round and the second round. It's a busy weekend for you.
Yeah, no, it was. I was just listening to the last few minutes of your show before.
Okay. You already know what time it is. Listen to the last minute of the show, and this is where our friend decides to go off.
Before I came on, waiting on here.
All right.
Sounds like 2018 all over with you guys.
Well, how so?
Well, you guys were bitching in 2018 about Josh Allen. You guys wanted Josh Rosen, and now you guys are bitching that we don't have a receiver. I don't get it. Like, we just scored. Hold on, let me talk. We just scored 30 points in a row for 8 straight games. A year ago, I get you guys asking why we didn't have receivers, but I don't understand it now. You just saw us lead the league in points when you add all the postseason. No one scored more points than the Buffalo Bills, including.
Perfect. That's all I need to hear. No one scored more points. Rah, rah, rah. And he was feeling some type of way. Fast forward to now, where those very receivers that he was talking about ain't doing what they're supposed to do. And although we have averaged 30 points a game up until this past game that we just had, I'm sure we're down to 27, 28 points a game. It doesn't matter. Point is, we haven't looked good the last 3 games. Should Brandon Beane really take a note and say, you know what, man, I think I might have jumped the gun here because, bro, my receivers ain't doing it. When I look down the list of the guys that I have, Keon Coleman just hasn't quite figured out how to make himself available for Josh. Khalil Shakir just seems to be happy I'm here, right? Josh Palmer is still figuring out where he fits into this offense. Shavers is a complementary piece of this offense. Kincaid hurt. When you look at what this team is, there is a problem at the receiver room. Elijah Moore, Curtis Samuel, there's nothing that stands out to you as something that's going to help with Josh Allen and really push forward. So knowing what you know now, is it one of those situations where like, yo, the Bills have to do something at receiver by this trade deadline, or is it purely a schematic whiteboard type situation with our offensive coordinator, Joe Brady? What are your thoughts when you know what Brandon Beane stood on business about, and what he stood on business is really not businessing?
Yeah, it's not all or nothing. I do think it's a little bit of both. I do think Joe Brady could do a better job of schematically figuring out some things and putting guys in the right position and weaponizing his players. I think it's just the word that I would use. Remember, dating back to 2023, this team did have Stephon Diggs, and all of a sudden when he took over, the passing game took a step back and wasn't as innovative as it was under Ken Dorsey. Obviously, the offense is much, much better under Joe Brady than it was under Dorsey, but the passing game just isn't as innovative as it was prior to that. So I do think the credits of, oh, well, he's a great OC. I do think he's a good OC, but I just think he needs to figure out some ways to weaponize his players. But on the other side of the token, it's easier to weaponize players when the players are really talented. And I think that's where the Bills, to their credit, I will give them, I understand about like, hey, having self-belief in your players and improving year in and year out. So you have some belief that Dalton Kincaid can take the next step, who I do think is a good tight end now. I don't know necessarily about a first round caliber tight end. I mean, that's a high bar to clear when you're taking a guy that early in the draft. Keon Coleman hasn't necessarily panned out to be the player that they wanted. Josh Palmer, you spent a lot of money to bring him aboard, and it hasn't necessarily popped. But then here's the difficult situation that the Bills are going to find themselves in. How many receivers can you bring in this time of year that you will say are definitively the best player in that room, bar none, wide receiver one type of guy? And I think a lot of people are going to point to the guys down in New Orleans. I think Rashid Shaheed is a good player, but no one is going to sit up here and say that he's some world-beating player. Now, do I think that he can do some things to help his offense? For sure. They don't have anyone right now who can stretch the field. They don't. But Rashid Shaheed is not going to command 8-10 targets in a game. That's just not his game, and that's not who he is. I know some people want to point to Chris Olave. I like him a lot. I am concerned a little bit about the concussions, though. That's a guy who has an injury history, and Buffalo sports know a little bit about players who have battled injuries here and there. Also, about the Saints situation, they are trying to see what they have in Spencer Rattler, and taking players away from him kind of defeats that purpose. But crazier things have happened in the National Football League, so I do think they need a player. I just don't know the avenue to achieve such archetype in October and early November to take this offense to that tier. I still think it can be a really, really darn good offense even without that type of player. But when we get into these matchup type of games where the guys across from you can just say like, hey, I'm going to play man on Keon and Josh, and I'm not going to be too scared about them. That's where they're going to have to figure out some ways to, at least on the whiteboard, figure things out.
If you're a defender, are you scared of this Bills offense?
Offense? I'm not scared of the receivers. You're scared of Josh Allen. You are scared of what he can do on the field.
Yep. You scared of Keon Coleman?
he hasn't shown anything in the National
That's not my
Football
question.
League
Are
to
you
this
scared of
point.
Keon Coleman? You're a DB. Are you scared of Keon Coleman? Does he give you anything when you watch a film where you're like,
I
gotta
don't
watch that?
see any trait that he brings to the table that is
Who?
so exceptional where I'm like, damn, you know?
Excellent. Are you scared of Khalil Shakir?
No, you just gonna have to bring your hips when you
Wait,
tackle him. Yeah, just bring your
listen,
hips.
you're answering. Are you scared of Josh Palmer?
No.
No. Are you scared of Kincaid?
No.
All right. So if I were to let me switch it up a little bit. If I bring you to let's stick to the AFC East. Are you scared of Waddle? Are you kind of like, all right, here we go?
Yeah, you have to as a DB with Waddle's in front of me.
What about
yeah,
Tyreek?
obviously.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, let's go to the Jets. Garrett Wilson.
For sure. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go to who did I miss? Let's go to the Patriots. Stephon Diggs.
That's the tricky one. Shit, based off so far this year, you have to say yes. Yeah.
Okay. So the point I'm trying to make is not one person did you say the minute I spat out a name to you,
nobody
you were just like
nobody from Buffalo.
If I were to say, hey, what about Drake London? You scared of Drake London? Yo, I gotta strap my boots for Drake London. When you look at this offense, ain't nobody. The Atlanta Falcons told us they're not afraid of any of you suckers lining up on this line. Khalil Shakir included. I know there's some guys in this chat right now saying, how could you talk about Khalil Shakir? He's our best receiver. What the hell does that mean? He's our best receiver. If he's our best receiver, what does that mean for this offense?
I think
because right now, to me,
if I'm not mistaken, Khalil Shakir got 800 yards last year.
Yep.
And that was at 55 yards a game. He is like getting 40 something yards a game this year. So he's not even going to be close to 800.
Regardless, he's not a guy that takes over. We need a guy that takes over. We need a guy that says, here I am. Stephon Diggs, no matter how you want to look at it, he commands respect from the defense. Nobody respects anybody on the squad other than the odd, you know what I mean, excellent play. And I'm not going to take away from Khalil Shakir's excellent ability to evade a tackle here and there and go, because this guy's he's one of the best in the game at it. But like, you think that Joe Brady would see that and maximize and magnify that, and they don't. That I don't understand. So that's just me. So for those that are like, well, you can't come at me, I'm waiting for y'all, because if you could go around the NFL and tell me what DB is gonna look at this receiving crew and say, yo, I'm scared of which one of these guys. Heck no, not one bit. Now, then, which brings me to Joe Brady. I was reading a little something yesterday on Joe Brady. How much do you know about Joe Brady previous to him being with the Bills?
Oh, a lot, because I was in college during 2019 LSU, so yeah.
Love it. So do you remember his stint with the Carolina Panthers? It was not a very long one.
Correct. It was the year where they had it was Teddy
Matt
B,
Rule was the
and CMC, Curtis Samuel,
Yep.
DJ Moore, all those boys. Yeah.
Listen, to me, DJ Moore is a dog. I don't know what's going on with him.
He's better than anyone they got in Buffalo. Yeah.
Bruh, no question about it. They had DJ Moore, they had CMC, and you have Joe Brady running that offense, and he got fired. I was like, but why did he get fired? And when I was looking at the parallels between what he's currently doing now with the Buffalo Bills and what he was doing then. And I know he's a young coordinator, so that there's some he's going to learn. But I was looking at the differences between what he is doing now and what he did then with the Carolina Panthers. And I'm reading some articles and why. And the same things that the Bills fans are complaining about now is what they were complaining about him then. And Matt Rule was, I can't do it. You out of here, right? His game is not to go vertical, people. So we need to forget about it. It's not a vertical game with his offense. It's his words. His words were, I want this offense to cover every blade of grass, meaning horizontal. So it's a lot of mesh concepts, a lot of slants in there. It's about an offense that has separators. Fam, where are the separators on this team? There's only one legitimate, I believe, separator on this team, and one would say it might be Khalil Shakir, but the metrics say it's not. The metrics say it's Shavers. That's probably one of our better separators, which is wild to me. The point I'm trying to make is, if he doesn't change his ways, or at least try to at least get a little more vertical, he will not be here by next year 100%, whether he's chosen to be a head coach somewhere else or not. But he's making this offense one-dimensional. The Atlanta Falcons, they said, bro, I don't know if you've seen this.
Yes. D. Alfred, yeah.
Tell me that's not embarrassing.
That's a boy who knows his film.
He knows his film, and he knows the freaking offensive coordinator doesn't change anything. He goes, the same interception that was thrown by Josh Allen last week, I watched the film, and he went back there again. So nobody changes anything. That's also on Josh. Josh, they're watching you, fam. They're watching your eyes. They know your plays. They know what you like to do. And because you're limited on the offensive side of the football with your receivers, and because you have a limited offensive coordinator, and you don't really kind of go off cuff, they liked it, and they conquered it. Bro, something's got to change. Something's got to go. This 2 weeks coming up, they've got to come in looking like a refreshed new team. There better be some new wrinkles added, because as a good offensive coordinator, you've got to see where you're limited. You're limited. And don't tell me I don't have any separators. You have a guy that has 4.3 speed in Curtis Samuel. You have another guy that's got 4.3, 4.4 speed in Elijah Moore, but you're relegating them to gadget players and not getting them vertical. You're not going to get respected by any defense when all you do is, I just play cover 2 shell and just play over top. Mm-hmm. You're the defender here. You tell me, am I tripping because I don't know defense?
Right. Listen, I'll say this about the Bills offense and Joe Brady experience. Like I said earlier, it's much easier to be a coach when you have players. At the end of the day, especially at the National Football League level, it's Jimmys and Joes over X's and O's. Having said that, though, I had someone tell me earlier that, oh, this player wouldn't fit in Buffalo because he isn't the archetype of what they're going for. And for all those in the chat, I am not trying to bring any toxicity to this. I am not saying my opinion on this whole Xavier Worthy versus Keon Coleman thing, but I am just trying to show you just the archetype conversation. Someone posed the question, well, they wouldn't have wanted Xavier Worthy anyways because he doesn't fit what they do. He doesn't block. He doesn't do all that good stuff. I hear you, and I respect your opinion. We all got them. But I think that says a lot more about I'm not saying Joe Brady, but that says more about coaches if you're not willing to be malleable to the players on your roster. And I think that's where if you are a coaching staff, no matter if you're in Buffalo or in Elmira or in Fredonia or in Oakland, California, we all have a principle system that we like to follow, and everyone needs to adhere to it. But at the end of the day, the system goes as your players go, and you have to make sure you put those guys in the proper positions to succeed. I think Joe Brady has done that for the most part in terms of putting James Cook in situations. James Cook doesn't play third down, not because Joe Brady hates him, it's because he understands that he will be putting James Cook at a disadvantaged situation if he's asking James Cook to go out there and block. Because boy, oh boy, the Falcons was blitzing a whole lot yesterday, and that would have been a bad spot for James Cook. So I understand Joe Brady when he does situations like that, and I want to give him credit for that. But I've watched Elijah Moore. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, so I got to watch him on a lot of Sundays. He gets utilized much different here in Buffalo and just how they just put him out there. And then I watched what Josh Palmer was doing somewhat in Los Angeles for a few years. And I watched what Curtis Samuel, like you alluded to, was doing in Carolina. It's just, I understand there's a system and there's a way that they want to play. They want to get real physical. They want to put these guys in line. I understand that, but I just do think there are some better ways to better utilize these players. And I get it. There's a cap to it because it's not like the players are great. It's not like I'm talking about Justin Jefferson here. It's not like they're capping him. But I do think, Elijah Moore, I believe, got 600-700 yards in his league at one point. That isn't a great player, but that is a useful player. And I just think that there are some better ways to better use those players.
So now this is where, as a fan, I get frustrated because I was once, and I teeter between both of them, and I struggle with it. I struggle with this part right here. I struggle with and this is what I felt like this about Amari Cooper. I said, there's no way you can tell me I have a Pro Bowl receiver that had over 1,300 yards receiving prior to coming here, and all of a sudden he's relegated to just some guy on the squad, just a guy, just a jag. You can't tell me Amari Cooper is a jag. There's no way. So something's up with this system that is getting played out, and people are now predicting on what these guys are going to do. So a lot of this success for this offense is falling on Joe Brady. I have hope for this receiver room. I really do. I don't think we have a whole bunch of scrubs. Right. I don't. And then I teeter on it where I'm like, well, golly, like this offense can't be that bad that it doesn't fit anybody in this thing. Does it only fit? You know what I'm saying? Does it only fit Kincaid and it doesn't fit anybody else? It doesn't make any sense because I can tell you right now, if I were to put Shavers on somewhere else, where I put Shavers with, I don't know, the Chargers. I think if they had him as a receiver 3, Shavers would do good things. If I put Khalil Shakir with the 49ers, Khalil Shakir would be all right with the 49ers.
You know, Kyle Shanahan will do some funky things with him. Yeah.
Listen, so the comment, it's the all the fingers can point all these other places, and I'm coming to this realization now. By the way, Chad, I'm human. I'm just like y'all. I had my blowout or my crash out last night where I was just going off, but I can come back down to earth and really say, hold on a second, bro. This is Joe Brady, fam. This is Joe Brady, a young coordinator, right? That got the job soon after as a court. He went from a what? He came in not as a quarterback coach. He came in as a quarterback coach to offensive coordinator, right? After being let go because of XYZ. So the point I'm trying to make is, bro, McDermott is on Joe Brady's ass. He's on his ass because there was a point where somebody asked him, hey, that end around happened again.
Right.
What up? What up, though? And coach was simply like, can't have that again. I had a conversation with Brady. We ain't going to have that again. This is the nerve of Joe Brady. When coach calls you too cute to the public, that tells you, bro, get back to the damn fundamentals. Mm-hmm. This guy was defiant and said, no, I'm going to run that thing again, and I'm going to prove that it works. And then he fumbles again. Fam, nah, that's strike 2. That's strike 2. Don't piss me off. I swear, if I promise you, if McDermott could call plays both offensively and defensively, he would. He absolutely would, but he can't. He's got to rely on these boys to do the job. So I look at it like this, and you did a very good job. I said you'd be a great politician, by the way, but I'm looking at it like this, Brad. I'm looking at Joe Brady, and I'm like, fam, Joe Brady is right now, he's the one hindering this offense to blow. I'm looking at Josh on the sideline, like pissed off. He's sitting there waiting for guys to get open. Like, dude, this guy just wants to uncork that thing and let it fly. But now, I ain't going to just sit here and say it's on Joe Brady now. So I need your opinion. Watching these games, you're watching Josh Allen play. Josh Allen hasn't been the sexiest player so far this year. Your thoughts on his play against the Atlanta Falcons? What did Atlanta do to Josh that had Josh just not himself?
Well, they blitzed the living shit out of him. Like I said earlier, 56% of his dropbacks were blitzes.
That's the problem.
Yeah. I mean, I wish I had some like great X's and O's breakdown, but they blitzed more than half of his dropbacks. Atlanta brought 5 or more players. He was pressured on 44%. Like I'm people are gonna call me a quarterback apologist at times for like when I talk about bad.
Well, that's Dan Orlovsky. That's Dan Orlovsky.
Yeah, I ain't that bad yet. No, hold on, I ain't that bad. Put some, don't violate me like that. But like,
yes,
when CJ Stroud or Justin Herbert or like any other quarterback across the National Football League is struggling, I'll say, well, point to me how many healthy offensive linemen they had, and I'll show you how bad they played. Right. Well, the Bills were healthy, but they didn't do a good job. And I'm not about to get into the protection schemes of who's right and who's wrong. Whoever is responsible for picking up the blitzes, and that goes from the OC all the way down to the running back, they didn't do a good enough job Monday night. And that's a big reason why he struggled. Because if you think about the 2 drives where they scored, the first drive of the game and then the first drive out of halftime, the pockets were clean. He was in rhythm and he made stuff shake. But when he got sped up a little bit and his mental clock where it hits that back foot and boom, it's time to make something go, he wasn't necessarily the quarterback or the Josh Allen that we've come to love and respect. So I think it comes down to that. I mean, that flip pass to Ty Johnson, I get it. Like, it's much easier for me to say that from the confines of my couch to say, hey, you got to just literally turn your hips and make the throw. But when you're blitz and you pressure down in and down out, I believe he was pressured on 44% of his dropbacks, which is the highest rate he's seen in like over a calendar year. It's been crazy. That kudos to Atlanta for taking the fight to the Bills, protection schemes and everything in between, because Josh Allen didn't look good. And quite frankly, he didn't look great against New England either, but it was a different reason as to why that was the case.
I tell you this, I look at, I'm protective because I cover the team at the same time. I'm a fan at the same time. I'm very protective of when people make fun of my team. I'm very protective when people make fun of my quarterback. And right now, the memes are out. They said Josh Allen They got all these different, like they got Josh Allen uniform, but they have a face of somebody else. They got Nate Peterman on him. They got all these bums that are on Josh. They're like Josh Allen when he plays teams that are better than the Jets, Dolphins. I was like, oh, and we deserve it. We deserve it. The Bills deserve it, man. And right now, it's gotten pretty bad. All right, so let's roll into the good, the bad, the ugly. I need you to some fans just need to hear some good things. So can we talk about the good, the bad? What did you find in this game that stood out to you that was good?
Both sides of the ball. Deion Walker is a dude. He is a player that he still has mistakes. A couple of those big Bijan runs was because that he got out leveraged in his gaps. But 4 tackles for loss and a pass breakup, brother. Listen, we can clean up the lows, but the highs are something that no one else on this roster has currently given this year. Good for him, and I can't wait to see how he progresses. He's looking like that player back in 2023 when I randomly turned on the Kentucky game one time, and I'm like, who the hell is this big dude in the middle? It's Deion Walker, so good for him. And then I will say that James Cook had a good game. I know he only had 17 touches, but he ran really, really hard, turned a couple 4-yard runs into like 8, 9. Obviously, the discourse has been he should have received the ball more. I get that. Sean McDermott kind of hinted at it today in his presser, but I thought he ran the ball really hard too.
I like it. What can I say? I'm gonna say the good for me was second half defense. I think we can all agree that second half defense was absolutely fantastic, holding the Bijan Robinson-led Atlanta Falcons to 3 points the whole half. The defense gave the ball back to the Bills offense 3 times. On top of that, with a blocked field goal. So whether you want to call it a block and whether you want to call it a shank, he shanked it so bad it hit. I mean, my man right in the rib cage. The point is that thing was blocked, and we gave the ball back to the offense 3 separate times, and 3 separate times they look like the movie The Replacements, or the movie with The Longest Yard, when little guy in the quarterback when he was had to run through the tires. What was his name? I forgot what his name. Brucey? They call him Brucey. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's what it looked like. It was not great. Offense did not look good. But defense in the second half really turned it up. Bobby Babbage really saved himself an opportunity to continue to call plays, because I'll tell you right now, if that continued, McDermott would have been like, yo, clipboard now. I'm running the plays now. And that would have been something. And something to I need to show. Hopefully I can. If I can't show you, I'll read it to you guys. My man Pierre found this clip here. Actually, he actually posted it. I'm glad he posted it. So I'm gonna show you guys something here, which is super fascinating. So the Bills defense, I'll just show it to you. All right. So let me roll on back. Where did he place it? Oh, that's perfect. That's where it is. All right. So I'm going to show you guys my screen here. All right. So I'm going to say this is the good. This is the good that I see, but I find that very interesting. So if you look at, I don't know if you guys can read it. If not, I can read it to you guys. I'll try to zoom it in a little bit more. So look this. In 2023, well, let's say 2025, okay, currently, right now, the Bills right now are 23rd in turnovers, 12th in TDs allowed, 17th in points allowed, 19th in yards allowed, 31st in rush yards allowed, only best by the Miami Dolphins, all right? And they're 10th in sacks, the lone top 10 in the sacks. Peel it back to 2023. Look at this. Play caller was McDermott. 2nd in turnovers, 3rd in TDs allowed, 4th in points allowed, 9th in yards allowed, 15th in rush yards allowed, middle of the pack. And we were complaining then about their run game. And then we were 4th in sacks. What a difference it is when he's play calling. But he's got to be a head coach now. He's got to be a head coach. He's got to let these boys, earn their stripes and call plays and do what they need to do. And he's got to be a guy that's all over the place. So I love that. But one thing that I do love is what Babbage was able to do in the second half was really rally and switching things up. That zone was getting eaten up by Drake London. And my man switched it up, going a little bit of man, a little bit of cover one on top, back to man again. And then we started to put some pressure on these boys. So that's one thing I did like. Did you see anything different from that, or did you agree with that second half defense?
Yeah, the second half defense, they didn't play as passive in the first half. I thought they played very reactionary and passive. And I thought that they took the fight to Atlanta in the second half.
I like it. Anything else stand up for you in terms of the good?
Bills Mafia, shout out to y'all. Y'all was good. The fact that the Atlanta Falcons had to use a silent count as a home game,
Crazy.
like it's different. Like the running joke is that SoFi Stadium is a home game for every team that's visiting, but it's different when it's like the 49ers. San Francisco's right by LA. They can make that trip easy. I don't know about y'all, but look where Georgia is on the map compared to Buffalo, New York. Bills Mafia, y'all showed out. Y'all did y'all part. Yeah, y'all did y'all part. Shout out to Bills Mafia.
Look, Bills Mafia always does their part, no matter where, man. They can go to Alaska, and you're gonna see these guys will fill the stadium no matter what.
Yeah,
so
crazy ass Bills Mafia will go to Alaska. You're right.
Yeah, they will. They'll go everywhere that you need to go. So, big shout out to the Bills Mafia for showing up. I think that was good. I'm trying to look at what else was good in this regard. Obviously, I'm talking about the defense and how they made their adjustments. But there just wasn't a whole lot of good. If there's anybody in the chat right now that can tell me something that was good, let me know. You know what? There was something good. Shaq Thompson. I really liked Shaq Thompson's game. And this guy was one interception / potential pick six away from putting the game back in the Buffalo's, grips, I suppose, because I probably thought they would have probably went for 2 if we scored that game. The way this offense and defense was going, we're like, we're going for 2, and we're going to put the pressure back on Penix. But I think Shaq Thompson was fantastic. I thought he was solid, and he's done a great job filling in and being the next guy up. So big shout out to these boys. Love to see it. So that's the good. I don't think anything else stood out for me for being good. The block field goal was great. I'm looking at the chat right now if anybody has anything that you found stood out. If not, we'll just keep it rolling. All right. I think we can find a few things for the bad. Anything stand out to you for the bad?
Yeah, because I got some stuff for the ugly.
Okay.
We talked about the passing game, and I think we hit that on the head. It's just how it is bad right now.
Yep.
The penalties and just the undisciplined play, I think is.
Oh, you son of a gun! You stole mine. All right, go ahead.
We can both talk about it. Shit. My bad.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all can tell it's been a long 24 hours for your boy, but just not good. 8 penalties yesterday, and they come at inopportune times. First play of the game, you force a fumble, we're offsides, or oh my gosh, Michael Penix gets sacked, penalty, and it's just like I understand there were some calls and some reviews that weren't good. The Elijah Moore catch, I still don't know. Like I'm not a ref guy. I'm not like that's not me.
You caught that.
Never. But like I'm still confused. I'm still confused on that one. I would love for someone to sit me down and talk about that one.
Like you have to be so definitive that he dropped that ball. Like you have review. And I don't know, we're gonna stick to the play. Come on, man, give me a break.
You're confused about that one. I can hear the Keon Coleman argument about the DPI. I mean, the call that wasn't DPI. However, as someone who played corner, the corner or the player who gets the more respect in that matchup will always get the call. AJ Terrell is a Pro Bowl corner. Keon Coleman is not. AJ Terrell is always going to get that call. But yes, just the penalties, just no bueno. I don't care who you are or Pop Warner team all the way up to the Buffalo Bills. Just wasn't good enough.
I agree. I'm going to go to I'll stick on the penalties. Penalties, 30 penalties in 3 games. That's it right there. Right, 10 penalties. You're averaging 10 penalties every game. Right, in the last 3 games. That's pathetic. Right, 8 penalties last game, 11 penalties the game before that, 11 penalties the game before that one. We've got to be more disciplined. And like you said, these penalties are coming at inopportune times. Inopportune times. It's terrible. You don't want to see it, right? Let me just keep going with the bad. Tackling, poor. It continues to be poor. It continues to drag on. It continues to just be a glaring hole as to why this defense is being poor, why this defense is allowing guys to run all over the place. And quite frankly, there's a lack of respect for the front 7. There's a lack of respect. There's a lack of disrespect, if you will. Lack of respect. We'll call it that. Because Bijan, Derrick Henry, Kamara, and what was his name? Kamara Edwards, I think I have the other back that's out there for the Saints. They have no respect. Yeah. Miller, that's where Condre Miller, no respect for this defensive front, whether Milano's in the game or not, whether it is Bernard or not, whether Greg Rousseau's in the game, it doesn't matter. They don't care. I don't know whether you want to call us the splits that are wrong. I don't know. The defense has not been good. So defensive missed tackles, awful, and these penalties. To me, that's one of them. and we're gonna go right to the ugly. Anything bad else you want to talk about?
Nah, because I got some ugly.
Let's talk about ugly. I'll give you the floor. What do you got?
Yeah, it tackling falls under this umbrella, but the lack of bite I've seen, and I can't come up with a better term without being disrespectful, because once again, these are professional athletes that
Absolutely.
I do not want to tackle Bijan Robinson. And I didn't want to tackle him even when I was a player. So let me make that abundantly clear. How about that?
You played up against him.
No, I didn't. But I'm saying like I wouldn't.
You wouldn't.
Y'all saw what Cole Bishop did?
He ain't a big boy. He's not like he's like a bruiser back.
Yeah, I'm not trying to find out though. I'm not trying to find that shit out. But I just think that the lack of bite and the real tenacity and the physicality and the ability to just run through somebody's face, excuse me, just isn't there this year. And for whatever reason that may be, I think that has really hurt them on that side of the ball. In previous years, I felt that schematically they invited the run to deter the big play. And you can say that is the right or wrong way to go about it. I don't think there is a proper defense to play. There's a reason why there's 32 teams and they all run different schemes. But this year, it goes beyond the whiteboard. It goes beyond the scheme. It's stuff that's going on out there where the players are literally in the hole and they're at the point of contact and the play isn't getting made. And that was really discouraging to see, especially in the first half. Them boys is going to do some soul searching. I know they will over the next week and a half or so, and they're going to have to figure that point out, because there is no, like, they played a lot more man coverage in the second half. They did. But there wasn't some like magical marker they used in the second half to play that much better. Them boys just played harder, and they played with more tenacity, and they played with more fight. And I want to give them their flowers for doing so, because once again, Bijan Robinson is a good player, and they kept them in check for the most part in the second half. And same thing with Drake London. But it's that bite, it's that fight. It's all three levels where I think they just need to be able to take the fight instead of being so reactionary on defense.
I'm going to agree with you. There was, especially because you knew you just came off of a loss. Right, you came off of a loss to a division team, which now leads the division right now. Right, so they got that they have that head to head against you. You think you come in on the road, especially knowing you mean business and handling business. Let me ask you a question. Whenever you got in trouble with mom or dad, or you got trouble with school, or whatever the case is, you got trouble with coach, the very next day, isn't your posture just a little bit better? Aren't you? Aren't you sitting at the front of the classroom? Aren't you? I felt like that would have been the case with these Bills. You just got spanked and dominated by the Patriots. I don't care how close the score was. It just they let us back in the game by those two huge penalties. Right? That was not a good game by the offense. So for the defense and offense. So you think they'd come in suited and booted, ready to go and attacking and just taking out their aggression on a team like the Atlanta Falcons. But it looked like the Atlanta Falcons were like, yo, we're the ones that are going to be giving you belt to ass because we're better than people want to make it seem. And who better to make an example of than you Buffalo Bills? So that effort, that dog was absolutely non-existent. And I question Coach McDermott, get your boys ready, get them fired up, right? This whole, calling two captains, maybe you need more than two captains. Maybe you need 3 or 4 or 5 that you can get these guys going. So to me, there was no bite. There was no dog. There's no dog on the defense. Like, name me a dog on this defense. Can you name me one? Well,
Christian Bedford's a dog. Christian Bedford's a dog.
Christian Bedford's a dog?
Yeah, he's a dog.
I don't hear no barking. I need something. I need some growling. Because I ain't getting it. And that's my guy. I like Christian Bedford. You and I agree. That's my guy. I like Christian Bedford. But fam, that whole situation, it wasn't looking good for me. Right. Secondly, for me, and I'll jump in and I'll let you jump in. Yo, these injuries are starting to get a little nasty to me. These injuries are starting to get nasty, bro. Benford went out, came back in. Then Bernard is out. We don't know when he's going to come back. These last 2 weeks are going to be great. We just got Ed Oliver back, and then we lose Daquan Jones right in the warm-ups with a calf injury. Like, when do these injuries stop? And listen, I can't. Well, the Bills. You should see the Niners. The Niners are worse than us. So these injuries are playing a toll. That's why I feel like this bye week has come at a great time. These guys can get better, but like, fam, these injuries, lack of dog on this team, I need to see a little more coming forward. What else you got for ugly? Unless you have something.
No, I just think that we've covered majority of it.
Yep.
Both sides of the ball just didn't have a good game, and they need the bye week. I'll keep it there. They need the bye week.
My man said, "Yo, Benford's looking like a Labrador. We need a Rottweiler."
I'll say this about Benford. I'll say he maybe isn't playing up to the standard that he was last year, but in terms of somebody that I would want to go in the foxhole with or a back alley fight, CB is at the very tippy top of that list of players on the Buffalo Bills.
I'll take that
on my side.
I'll take that. Let me keep it ugly. I'm gonna go here. Joe Brady. I'm gonna go to Joe Brady. Ugly game. There was no adjustment from Joe Brady. There was no whole lot. And if you did make an adjustment, you went right back to the old Joe Brady. Play calling was absolutely hideous. It was ugly. You could put all the makeup, I don't know. You could put all the Sephora you want. I don't know what the best makeup out there is. You can put all the Fenty Sephora stuff you want and just doll yourself up. That offense looked horrible. You don't even need the lights to come on in the club. I already see how ugly you are right the way you see in that light. That one strobe light that hit you, I saw it. Saw what I need to see. That's what the offense looked like. Joe Brady had no answers for this blitz. I'm telling you, when you see these guys blitzing, aren't you talking to your quarterback and say, yo, let's go to our blitz beater packages, right? If you see this, if you see that, like you saw, who was it? Chase Daniels? Chase Daniels the other day was letting us know what it looks like when a quarterback is getting their plays. Yo, they're showing you the blitz. They blitz 56% of the time. If they do this, it just didn't seem like these guys were prepared. Josh Allen wasn't prepared, and it just looked nasty. I put this off the offensive woes solely on Joe Brady and Josh Allen. You two mother effers are the ones that need to get this offense to where it needs to be, and none of y'all are on the same page. Here's another ugly for me. You just had an all off-season long battle with your starting running back on whether you wanted to pay him, whether you didn't want to pay him. Do I pay him or do I not? Well, we're going to hold off. Oh, we're not going to pay anybody this year. And he says, I'm standing on business. I know what I'm worth. Pay me. And he eventually won, and they gave him $15 million. You mean to tell me he doesn't touch the ball? From the 11-minute mark, from what I'm reading, from the 11-minute mark in the fourth quarter, he didn't touch the ball since then. That is absolutely unacceptable. Unacceptable to allow the guy that you paid $15 million to get onto the field. He's on the sideline, and you got Ty Johnson or you got Ray Davis on the field. I don't even know if Ray Davis touched it, but you got Ty Johnson on the field. Are you kidding me? And meanwhile, Bijan Robinson is sitting here with 19 carries, 6 receptions for another like 50 yards. Man, what in Sam Hill are we doing? 6 for 68, excuse me. This guy was all over the field. So when you have a team that is aggressive and blitzing, if you play Madden, you know Madden will tell you what to do. Madden will say, yo, run that quick slant, run that. If the DB's playing on the inside, all right, you gotta make some adjustments here. Maybe a screen, something to alleviate these guys coming after you and blitzing you. We don't run no running back screen. We totally run too many receiver screens, and then the times that we need to do, we don't do it. This is Joe Brady. This is Josh Allen. And Joe Brady, shame on you for not putting the ball in the hands of the guy you just paid $15 million to. And then when the coach is asked, yo, why didn't, James Cook be on the field? Oh, yeah, I'm going to have to talk to my offensive coordinator. Bro, too much talk. Just too much talk. I need more action. I need Joe Brady to be like, I'm about that action, boss. And he's not about that action. Right now, he's killing me. So ugly. That goes to Joe Brady, this offense alongside Josh Allen, because you two are the guys that are the engine to this thing, and you can't not give the ball to James Cook. So for me, that's where the ugly lies, and it sits right there. Folks, on to our next segment with my guy, Carl Jones. Carl Jones, we got a little bit left, and then I'm going to let you get popping. One of my favorite segments of the game. Now, if you could slide on over more this way on your screen. No, the other way. Come more this way. Ladies and gentlemen, no, the other way, brother. You were good. Right there. Milk carton alert. Mr. Carl Jones. I'm going to give you time to kind of think about this one. But was there a moment where you went looking to see where this player is at, or you went looking for, why are we doing this? what was it for you that deserves to be on the milk carton? What was missing for you, or who was missing for you?
I think I said this player last week. No, I didn't say this player last week. It would be Keon Coleman for me. I think that in a moment like this, where I know he wasn't technically a first-round pick, but he was the first player taken in the Bills draft class in 2024, where Josh Palmer goes out. Dawson Kincaid doesn't play. He's not active. I want the player, and it's his second year, that we have high expectations for. I'm speaking as if I am the Bills. We need that player to step up and be a guy. And unfortunately, he just wasn't that player yesterday. And then I think that's kind of twofold, where you can say, well, they didn't give him the opportunities to do so. Well, last week they did against the Patriots, and it didn't go so well. And then this week they didn't force it to him, and the ball just never found him either. They have to figure out a way to find a happy medium with him, and maybe not necessarily always a jump ball, but maybe some underneath stuff. But then that gets into the conversation of, well, that's what Khalil Shakir and Dawson Kincaid do best, so why would we ask Keon to do it? I would just say, in a game like that where the passing game and the receivers weren't looking good, it would have been nice to see Keon step up and be the player that the Bills all offseason raved about.
I cannot agree more, and I'm going to jump in right off. I'm going to piggyback. Keon Coleman, like you said, and I'm repeating a lot of the things that you said, but I think I have to be a little bit more harsh here, right? Oh, and with Keon Coleman, you're the big body guy that they brought in to handle business, right? To make those tough catches, contested catches. You're saying red zone offense. We're gonna toss that thing up, and you're gonna be the guy that comes down with it. Bam. The last 2 games, you have been non-existent. You're late for practice, they bench you. The first time you touch the football, you fumble. You come to the game, and that's just me. I'm being petty when I say this. Shirt all out, open. You know what I'm saying? La-di-da. You know what I mean? Big old chain. To me, that's the baller. That's the guy you want to watch for. You know what I'm saying? That flashy guy. And when we played ball back in the day, we looked for guys that wore the numbers. Oh, who's that number 1 guy over there? He nice. Who's wearing number 2? He nice. Yo, who's wearing 88 over there? If it's a DB, who's wearing 21? He nice. Yo, if you coming out with your shirt open, bro, I'm expecting something from you. Quiet as a church mouse. I can't have that. Josh Allen's depending on you. And from what we hear, Josh Allen hand selected you. He wanted you. He influenced Brandon Beane to say, that's the guy I want. And now you're letting your quarterback down that vouch for you. Bam, show up. You got 2 weeks to get it together with your quarterback. If you have to bark at Allen and say, yo, when you toss me that back shoulder, give it to me a little higher. I'm 6'4". I play ball like hooped. Do something, man. All these low balls, you're not throwing to little minions. You're not little Smurfs here, man. I'm a big boy. Throw me the rock. But you went silent. Kincaid out. Palmer out. James Cook, you might as well call him out because they didn't want to give him the ball. Where were you? 2 receptions for 11 yards, and the 3rd reception was a gimme. It was a hook and ladder. Fam, I don't know if it's the fragility. Toughen up. You in Buffalo, baby. Toughen up. We need you. You went missing for me. So we need you to get off this damn carton and show up next game against the Panthers. Because guess what? Bryce Young, was it Tet McMillan? You know what I'm saying? You got Xavier Legette. You got Rico Dowdle. Stop playing, man. These boys are coming for you. So we're going to need you on the offensive side of the ball so you can allow the defense a little bit of reprieve, a little bit of a let me breathe and sit on the bench before I go 3 and out with my offense. Sick of it. Keon Coleman needs to show up. We didn't draft you in the 2nd round for no reason, because I'll tell you right now, Brandon Beane is certainly not afraid to say, you know what, it ain't working out. Ship you out of there. I hope you show up, baby. I hope you show up. And your agent, Paul, talk to your boy. Talk to your boy, Agent Paul. Talk to your boy, man. Tell him to get it together. Now, this is the fan talking. This is not the guy covering the team. This is the fan talking. I'm pissed off. I get annoyed. I need to see some, because I can't have my guy, Josh Allen, looking for some help, and he can't get it. Anyway, that's it for me. Keon Coleman, show up. We need you, bro. All right. I know I got that segment out of the way. Had to do it. My man, Carl Jones, we're nearing to the hour mark. What is on tap for tomorrow? I know you have your show tomorrow, or is it Thursday?
So it's Thursday, but we also got another show. We got a bunch of shows going on. Tomorrow we got a show that'll be dropping tomorrow night. WIVB Plus, our app. You can watch it on that. And then my podcast drops Thursday. You can find it on all your streaming platforms, as well as the WIBB Plus app. I'll say that again for you guys. Smart TVs, all type of jazz. That's how you can get it. And yeah, I haven't watched all the film yet. I'll watch it tomorrow morning, and you'll get my thoughts on all that stuff on that show.
Who are you looking forward to watching when you watch the film? Are you looking forward to watching anyone in particular?
Well, selfishly, I'm going to watch Benford to see how he played against Drake London, because in that second half, Drake London was on the milk carton. I just want to see how Benford played and because he followed him the entire game. He followed him the whole game. But he didn't play man until the second half. So I just want to find the bits and pieces of.
And this is why I appreciate what was done with Babbage. Babbage at least said, "All right, enough's enough, man to man. Trey White certainly can't do it. We ain't gonna trust 2-7. 2-7. I feel bad for 2-7, bro.
Yeah.
He's a shell of himself. He's a shell of himself. I want his mental right now is like, I know they're gonna replace me soon. I'm just holding to this spot until I'm done, dude. It would not surprise me when Max Harrison returns. I might see Trey White on an inactive list. You just never know. I doubt it, but you just never know these days, man. So I'm gonna leave it at that. We appreciate you. And again, the podcast is called Mafia Podcast.
The Mafia Huddle. Pretty again for everybody. The Mafia Huddle. You can find it on Apple, Spotify, our smart TV app, all the good jazz. Every single Thursday. It drops around 9, but it's also on demand, so you can watch it on Thursday and the rest of the week, and it's always in the feed. I got to go to work because your boy got to talk on TV and put on a little suit and tie, look all pretty and stuff.
No doubt.
Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Appreciate Rico for giving me the platform. And don't forget, y'all, go Qs.
That's my boy. He's out. All right. He's got to get to work. He's got to do business. If you guys enjoyed this stream, this show, go ahead and smash that like. There's so much more that I want to get into. But you know what I mean? We only have an hour show. I'm not trying. Listen, I went to bed super late last night. It was like 3 o'clock, almost 4 in the morning when I was going to bed. It was to the point where the wife was like, what are you doing up so late? Are you getting up for work? I was like, girl, I'm just getting into bed. Terrible. I'm terrible for that, man. So your boy's tired. I got to get some rest. And we got to go from there. So, but before I get out of here, I got to read some super chats. I got a super chat coming from my man, Darren Martin. What up, Darren? I hope you're still watching right now, my man, because you sent that super chat earlier today. But my man, Darren said, yo, Joe Brady didn't let Cook touch the ball for the last 12 minutes in one-score game. Malpractice on Joe Brady. Coleman got 8 alive on the outside, so why do you not help him by moving him around and put him in a slot? This is the thing that frustrates me and should frustrate fans. If we see it, how do they not see it? Especially that they're with their players constantly with their players. And why isn't Josh giving feedback? Bro, we need to get the ball to James Cook. Why not? Like, this is as much on Joe Brady as it is on Josh. Josh, you got to be more vocal. I remember, was it last year I was talking to Bot, or was it this offseason? I needed Josh to be more vocal. I need him to grab cats from the collar. You know what I'm saying? I almost went secular there. Grab cats from the collar and say, hey, I need you, right? I need to bitch at you for whatever reason. Like, we don't have that. I need Josh to be that type of leader, right? I know he's not, but fam, he's got to be. And in order for those things to happen, you need your leaders to be a lot more vocal, right? I know there's some leaders that, you know, they lead by example, right? They lead by that example, right? Kawhi Leonard, he ain't gonna grab you and talk to you like that. He's gonna just lead by example. Leave me alone. I'll do, you follow, right? But sometimes your quarterback has to be that guy. So when Joe Brady comes and calls and says, yo, pick up that phone, what do you see? Fam, I need you to tell me what you see and what we can do. The fact that we didn't even get the ball to this man at all, come on, man. Like, don't you remember, what was it? Somebody needed to be subbed off. I think it was Ed Oliver. Ed Oliver, they're like, yo, come on off, Ed Oliver. Ed Oliver's like, no, I'm not getting off. That's the type of attitude you need from your guys, where they're like, oh, it's time for rotation. No, I'm not rotating crap. Ain't no way I'm getting off the field when this team needs me. We're playing the Baltimore Ravens. I'm not getting off the field. I still got a lot of juice in me, and that's what it's got to be. When is that going to come from the leaders of this squad? When's that going to come from the Deion Dawkins of the world? When's that going to come from Josh Allen? And I'm pointing more to Josh Allen because he's the leader on this offense. He's the one that can be vocal enough to tell the guy in the booth that, hey, we're not doing enough. But how do you not see it? Darren, I appreciate that super chat. Real talk of you. And I love it. And by the way, for those in the chat right now, shout out to my guy, Jeff King, always showing love. He goes, guys, there's 246 people in here. Hit the like button, please. Takes more time to take a pee. Hit that like, for God's sake. Listen, do me a favor, folks. All it takes is to just hit that like. I ain't asking you to send me dough and this, that, and third. It's not like that. Hit that like, because you hitting that like does a lot more for the channel. It gets it out there to people that, man, this is another Bills channel? This is Buffalo Fanatics? Man, I should have been watching these guys a long time ago. These are what these likes do. So go ahead and smash that like for your boy. Let's get this thing up to 350 likes. 350. That's nothing, man. You guys, there's 240 of you guys in here right now. Let's get this thing to 350 likes and let's get this thing cracking. All right. So, folks, big shout out to my guy, P Money in the building. P Money, what's up? Says McDermott needs to stop delegating. Ooh. I mean, sorry, he needs to start, or you said he needs to stop delegating. What exactly is McDermott delegating exactly? If you're saying start delegating, or are you saying stop delegating, meaning he needs to take over as the play caller? Is that what you're trying to say? Is that what you're trying to say? Well, they asked my man that question. By the way, let me get back to that. I'm going to get back to you, my man. I got to give a shout out to Michelle. What up, Michelle? I see you, girl. Well, chat and Rico, I need to get ready for bed. Last night was brutal, 2 weeks in a row, but go Bills. I hear you, girl. I hear you. Delegating plays. He needs to stop. So what Pierre is saying, because I've known Pierre for years now, McDermott might have to take over the reins and start calling plays, because you saw what I showed you. You saw what I showed you. You got me saying you saw what I showed you. If you see what I was showing you guys earlier, you got. Let me see if I share my screen here. You guys see it. Look at what McDermott was able to do just a couple of years ago, right? Top 10 in turnovers, top 10 in TDs allowed, top 10 in points allowed, top 10 in yards allowed, top half of the league in yards allowed completely, right? So rush yards, excuse me, and then top 10 in sacks. Look at right now in the defense, 23rd, bottom of the league, 12 TDs allowed. All right, we're top half of the league, right? Bottom half of the league, bottom half of the league, bottom half of the league, top 10 in sacks. Maybe, but I'll tell you this. They asked McDermott, will you take hold of calling the plays anytime soon? And he vehemently said, no, I will not. I will not. I got a coach. I got a team to coach. I got stuff to do. I'm not going to be the one making those calls. So, but the adjustment made by Babbage gives me hope that at least he sees things that need to be done. His players are vocal enough to say, and I hope that's what the case was. Hey, coach, let's go, man. I'll cover Drake London, and let's see how he does. And let's see what we can do. And you know what? It worked. It worked. So when's the offense and when's one of the guys on the receiver squad going to say, fam, yo, let's do this play, because I can beat my guy no problem. Let's run this thing. I think there's too many quiet guys on this team, and nobody wants to step up. And I don't understand why. I don't understand why. My man Pierre says McDermott technically said, I haven't thought about it. So he's thinking about it. He didn't say no. He just said, I haven't thought about it. Well, I bet you he thought about it when that defense was getting gashed up left, right, center. He thought about it until the second half, and then things changed over. So we'll see. But I'll be real. Before I get out of here, I got another super chat to read here, and that's coming from my guy Bartek, the Polish wonder. What up, Bartek? He goes, we praise Brady for going with what's working. Yesterday, he didn't complete opposite by not utilizing Cook. Hold on. We praise Brady for going with what's working. Yesterday, he didn't complete opposite by not utilizing Cook. Yes, and that's pathetic from him. Like, you can't do that. He is your second best offensive player on the team, yet you have him on the sideline. What kind of arrogance is that? That your offense is that good to be run without James Cook? You should be getting him in the pass. Fam, if you want to have Ty Johnson on the field, then throw James Cook in the slot. You may not have a play for him, but just say, yo, run me a slant, run me a stop. You know what I mean? Run me a 9. Let me see who's covering you. Oh, you got Jalen Walker covering you, boy. Hit him with a whip route. Unacceptable that you have this brother sitting on the sideline. Somebody said it earlier, malpractice. That's my guy. Darren Martin said, yo, that is offensive malpractice. You cannot have one of your best players sitting on the sideline. Don't you remember that from the AFC Championship game? And then we as fans were like, and this guy wants to get $15 million. That means they don't trust you. That means they don't trust you at all. You know what, ladies and gentlemen? Let me take a phone call right now from my guy, Mr. Jeff King. And I'm hoping, let me see if my Bluetooth, Jeff, give me a second. I want to make sure that my Bluetooth is going to be connected so people can hear this phone call. So hang tight and give me a moment, Jeff King. Because I'm going to take a phone call. Let me get my, No. You're good. You're live right now. So give me a second. Let me get this thing. Let me pair this with my Rodecaster. Yeah, we're gonna pair this thing up, and we're gonna get you right into it. Because when callers call, we gotta let them do their thing, baby. Hold on. Let me get. All right. Check. You there, buddy?
Yeah, I'm here, bro. I'm here.
Let me just make sure everything is cool. Jeff King, you there, buddy?
Make sure.
Oh, yeah.
I'm here, man. Make sure it's just straight on your side.
Listen, we are good to go. The floor is yours, Jeff King. Talk to me.
All right. For you folks who got kids on here, get them the fuck off, okay? Because this ain't family friendly right now. All right. Here's my point to you folks, okay? These guys, you have no idea how much time they give up their life to come on here and produce a show for you, give you a show. Obviously, there's 225 of you in here, okay? You got no problem sitting in here. They're not asking you for a dime. They're simply asking you to reach over, hit a fucking hand figure, okay, a hand figure. That's all you got to do to hit a like button to help this show out. Why the fuck you can't do that is beyond me, man. It's fucking beyond me. And I'm not joking around right now, man. It is completely disrespectful. If you got fucking 2 hours to sit on this show and let this man entertain you and give you fucking content, and this goes for every streamer out there, I don't care who they're representing, what team they're representing, hit the fucking like button, man. Show them that much fucking respect. Because you're obviously sitting on there for 2 fucking hours. Hit the fucking like button. Stop being a lazy fuck. Like I said, it takes longer to go take a piss than it does to hit that like button. It's fucking ridiculous. Ridiculous, man. You think you're asking these people for their first fucking born child. They ain't. Show them a little fucking respect, man.
Jeff King.
Now that that's out of the way, fuck that goddamn game last night. Fuck that goddamn game last week, okay? We are now behind the Patriots. We're going down this road again? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Keep going, man.
Don't own me, man. Don't fucking own me. I want your goddamn honest opinion, bro.
Talk to me.
Because I'm telling you, this is fucking disgusting. We've had 8 years with this quarterback, 8 years with this coach, 9 years with this fucking coach. You can't put a producing team around him? Are you kidding me, man? Everybody eats. Ain't nobody fucking eating right now. Okay, this is Thanksgiving outside the Salvation Army. You better hope you get in that fucking line early and get a fucking plate. Okay? That's the fucking bottom line. We got exposed big time. Anybody who doesn't see that last night, we got exposed. Josh got exposed.
You know what? It didn't look good. It didn't look good because it seemed like he wasn't prepared for the blitz. He didn't know what to do when the blitz was coming. He's jittery behind the line, and then everything was rushed. His throws were rushed, his decisions were rushed, and just everything was just not off balance. So that's where Joe Brady has to find ways that get him back under control and get going. So yeah, he was certainly not himself, and he wasn't good last night. That is for damn sure. Jeff, you speaking truth, man. You speaking truth.
Do you know why? Because he's got mediocre fucking talent, bro. You got mediocre fucking talent. I'm sorry. You got mediocre talent. I don't want to hear Keon Coleman's fucking name ever mentioned, and possibly being an elite fucking catcher. Ever, man. Like I said, fuck his gold jacket, fuck all them sound bites, fuck all that shit. You proved after 2 years what the fuck you are. That's it. You ain't shit. You're a flash in the fucking pan. You might have been good at Florida State. You ain't fucking shit here. You ain't shit here, man.
He's got a lot of growing to do. That is for sure. He's got a lot of developing.
Yeah, dude, come on, man. Did Andre Reed have a lot of growing to do? Andre Reed came out of Division II fucking school and lit it up his first fucking year. Out of a D2 school and lit it up. He didn't even know fucking growing pains.
Mm.
James Lofton was washed up. Washed up. Fucking Raiders traded him to the Bills. Tore the ass out of everybody, man. They didn't go through any growing pains. It's a good point. I am tired of the excuses, bro. Tired of it.
No, you know what?
I've heard this shit for 50 fucking years, man. 50 fucking years I've heard excuse after excuse. I went through 4 fucking failed Super Bowls, man. Ripped my fucking heart right out of my chest. Had to listen to fucking these redneck douchebag fucking Dallas Cowboy motherfuckers. Boy, what's Bill stand for? Boy, I love losing Super. Shut the fuck up.
We've been hearing that.
I'm tired of it, bro. So, I am tired of it.
Are you on the train?
Forgive my fucking, I'm just so, after last night's game, I'm sick.
Listen, this is the Rico Report, man. Go ahead and do your thing. Although I don't, you know me, I've been trying to watch my words, but you know what? Sometimes you got to let it out. You got to let it out. But here's my question to you. What do you agree that the Bills should go and seek another receiver?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Hear me out on this, okay?
Let me hear it.
I don't know how much time you got. I don't want to take up all your time.
We good.
I love the fact that a lot of people are going to piss on this. I love the fact they brought back Gabe Davis. Because you know what? Let me tell you something about Gabe Davis. You guys, all you fucking doubters on there. Oh, well, he went to this team, he sucked. He went to that team, he sucked. You know what? That motherfucker shined. Shined when he was with Josh Allen. Holds the fucking record for 4 fucking touchdowns in the AFC Championship game. Shined. So I got no problem with Gabe Davis. My problem is he can't play right now. That's my problem with it.
I'm going to push back. No. I'm not going to let you come here and try to push Gabe Davis on me. I'm going to push back on you, Jeff K, because the last time I checked Gabe Davis, this brother had 6 to 7 games of 0 receptions. Did he get better all of a sudden?
When was it?
This was last year.
Was it?
The last year he was with the Bills. This guy had 6 games with no receptions, but he's a damn good running blocker.
So what happened in that year? What happened with that year? That was the everybody eats year. Yes, no.
It was first year with
yes, no. Was it the everybody eats year?
Sure.
Okay, thank you. There you go. Why do you think Diggs? Same thing with Diggs. I didn't like Diggs. I couldn't stand his attitude. He's a fucking arrogant fuck.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong with that because Diggs' stats plummeted when Joe Brady came in.
Plummeted. Thank you. So did Gabe.
You're not wrong with
everybody else's. It was the everybody eats fucking concept.
Yep.
Guess what? Ain't nobody eating right now.
Facts.
Cookie Monster ain't eating. Nobody's fucking eating. Okay. Peter Pumpkin Eater. That motherfucker ain't eating. Nobody's fucking eating. Okay? Ain't nobody fucking eating right now, bro.
Everybody's malnourished.
Dude, listen, man. I'm sorry. I am so sick of this shit.
Talk your stuff, man. Talk your stuff. This is why we do this, man. You kind of reminded me how good having these phone calls again. You remind me. I really do love this. This is gonna make me want to go back to this.
You know what? It's vulgar. I know how I am. I know my flaws. My character flaws as a man. I'm a vulgar fucking crest fuck.
You, sir, are
That's
alumni.
Who I am.
You are alumni. You get
that don't matter, man. And I'm not trying to offend anybody. This is just who I am. So if I'm offending you, I apologize.
Not one bit.
It's not personal. This is just who the fuck I am.
That's
so
it.
My apologies.
Talk your ish.
Dude, I'm sick of it, bro.
Let me ask you.
Come on, man.
Let me ask you this question before we dip out of here. So in this 2-week span, we got the bye week, we got all that stuff. What do you need to see from this team when they come out of this bye week? What do you need to see? I know it's like I want to see I want to see it all. But what is there something specific that you want to see?
You got a fucking time machine, man? You got a time machine where I can bring back fucking Cornelius Bennett and fucking Bruce Smith and
boy, that'd be nice.
Jeff Wright and all these fucking guys. You got a time machine, bro? I don't know.
Nice.
I know. All joking aside, I don't know what the answer is, bro.
Right.
What I've seen the past 2 weeks is pathetic. I'm being straightforward with you. It's pathetic. How the fuck you let the Patriots take a hold of this fucking division again? Where is your fucking pride, man? Do you know how long you were their fucking bitch? You were their bitch for a decade and a half.
Let me ask you.
Now you're their bitch again this week.
Nah, you listen. 2 weeks in a row.
No, bro. Cool. You call it any fucking way you want it.
Nope,
you're ahead of the fucking game right now. You call. I love you, but you call it any way you want it. You're ahead of the game right now.
No, I hear you. No, listen. The Patriots, we knew were going to be a challenge, and they whooped their tail. So now we got ourselves a ball game all year long. Here's my question for you.
As soon as I saw Vrabel get hired, but I'm like, here we go.
I agree. The minute they brought Vrabel back, I was like, oh shoot, we in trouble now.
Let me say this to you, man. If we would have had fucking Vrabel, I don't give a fuck who likes this. You hear me? I don't give a fuck. If we would have had Vrabel as a coach, I guarantee you that 13 fucking seconds never would have happened. Ever would have happened. Or that motherfucker would have went on a killing spree and still be in Sing Sing prison right now for the motherfuckers he killed. Okay? I'm done. I'm done with Sean McDermott. Done, bro.
Hey, is he done
with the fucking ass kissing shit? All this. Put your fucking foot up somebody's ass, man.
Hold on. Let me ask you this: McDermott and Beane, would you let them both go by the end of this year if this trend continues, or maybe we squeak into the playoffs? Or regardless, do you want these guys gone? Or is it Super Bowl or bust? What's your?
Let me ask you something, man. Let me ask you something about Brandon Beane here.
Yeah.
What's he brought us, bro? Milano, who I called it on draft day when we drafted him. If you go back to your show, I said he's undersized.
Yep.
I'm not real fucking thrilled with him. And guess what? The man was a baller. He's a player. He's got heart. But his frame was not built for the NFL, man. You cannot continuously take that fucking punishment with that body frame. Okay? I'm sorry. That's a reality. You cannot continuously take that punishment and keep producing year after year after year without getting hurt. That's why I said it. Did I know he was a gamer? Yes. Did I know he would fucking fail soon? Yes. Is that his fault? No. He's got the heart. He ain't got the body no more, bro. Okay, what else has he brought us? Greg Rousseau.
Yep.
Flashes here, there, everywhere, whatever. You ain't doing it on a consistent basis. I want fucking ex-cons, bro. That's what I want. No, I ain't fucking kidding you. I want ex-cons. I want Lyle Alzado. I want Howie fucking Longs who are going to go out there and rip somebody's fucking head off. That's what the fuck I want. And Bruce Smith and Cornelius Bennett, who didn't give a fuck, and Daryl Talley, God bless you. Yeah, it's gone, bro. You need to draft these mean motherfuckers, man.
Yep.
You're bringing back fucking Tre'Davious White. Are you fucking? He was shit. Well, why did we let go of him?
Brother.
Why do we let go of him? Because he was shit. And you bring back Poyer? Why did we let go of him? Well, because he was used up and shit. Dude, it's Misfit fucking Island. It's like watching Rudolph in fucking October. Are you fucking kidding me?
Nothing you're saying is wrong. You're nailing it. You're nailing it.
It's just, come on, Rico. How long are we going to waste this quarterback for, dude? Jim Kelly was lucky enough to come into a year where we had Bill Polian, which in my mind is the greatest fucking GM who ever lived. Put all that fucking talent around him within 2 years. And within 2 years, that motherfucker got them to the Super Bowl. Because he was that smart to pick out that fucking talent.
Yep.
I'm sorry, bro. I ride and die with these motherfuckers forever. These past two games are fucking embarrassing. Embarrassing, bro.
Well,
Fucking embarrassing, man.
Jeff King, there's 2 weeks that we got to figure things out. These Bills got to figure things out. So I'm hoping that these words that you shared somehow find its way to One Bills Drive, and these boys hear it and they say, all right, man, we got to do what Jeff King said, man. So let's look up the.
Well, you know what? Let me tell you something, bro. I had 2 weeks to get abroad money, fucking get an abortion. You got 2 fucking weeks. There you go. Here's your fucking cash. You better take care of this fucking shit.
And there you have it.
Okay,
ladies and gentlemen, Jeff King, my guy. Listen, folks, if you're new to Jeff King, listen, get used to it. I'm going to start making these phone calls again. Hopefully we start winning games, and then you can hear the other side of Jeff where he's still the same, but he's a lot happier. He's a lot happier. Appreciate you. My big dog. We're going to keep in touch, brother.
Listen, man, I love you. My apologies
too,
for my vulgarity, but again, folks, this is who I am. If you don't like it, don't stay tuned when I'm on. Have a good night. Love you, brother.
Love you too, man. That's my guy, Jeff King, in the building, and that's it. Jeff has been calling for years, bro. He's been calling for years, and we've become good friends. Believe it or not, we've become good friends, and we share counsel. When we count, listen, I'll call him and be like, "Oh man, I need your thoughts on this. What are your thoughts?" And love that, man. So here we are, man. So we're at the tail end of the show. You know what? It makes me want to bring back phone calls. Makes me want to bring back phone calls, man. I used to do that all the time, man. We're gonna bring that thing back. Rico brought on Jeff because Rated on Rico's retired. Kinda. Rated on Rico's retired. I'm gonna bring my guy Jeff on. He'll let it out. Because a lot of the things he was saying is the hard truth, and a lot of fans feel that way. Enough of this cookie cutter nice guy. You know what I'm saying? Dude, I need a guy that doesn't mind getting in your face. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't mind, you know what I'm saying, getting a little dirty a little bit. You know what I mean? Just a little nastiness to you. And sometimes we miss on that. And I know a lot of people have been calling that and saying Sean McDermott likes all these nice guys and this, that. I don't quite believe all of it, but there are some moments where you're like, come on, man, bring me a nasty dude. Bring me a guy that kind of has a little bit of a nasty flair to him. And I'm saying sometimes you need a little bit of that on the squad. So we'll go from there. 99 Days says, yo, Bills are blaming Falcons coming off a bye week and injuries for their loss. Loser mentality. They're simply not a good team. No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. It's a combination. We didn't have and this is where I was saying I was teetering on the edge where I was like, is this a bad team or was this just bad 2-game stretch? And I think it's more of a bad game 2-game stretch because the Bills are capable of coming after this bye and ripping off 10 straight wins. We've seen it. They can come back and rip off 10 straight wins, and the same guys that are sitting here going, this team sucks, you can be like, I love this team. That's the thing. You can't be too high, but you can't be so low on this team. So to say we're blaming it on the injuries and these guys coming off 2 weeks, that's nothing. The Bills came off of who do we're gonna go 2 weeks of preparing for the the Panthers. If we come out and lose that game, bro, then you can call me a bad team. Call us a bad team. But like sometimes it is what it is. It is what it is at one point, man. So like you get 2 weeks off, you can figure it out and we'll go from there. But we ain't no loser mentality here, man. Sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some. That's just what it comes down to it. All right, folks. Before we get out of here, you guys know what it is. We got to do our sleeper bet picks. We got a Thursday night game coming up. So let me set myself up so you guys know what time it is and we can get it cracking here. So, folks, if you guys are living under a rock, ladies and gentlemen, and you notice that, let me remove some of these things here so we can get this thing cracking here. You'll notice that if you jump on the Sleeper app, folks, $20 entry, free entry. They give you $20 so you can make some picks. And I'm about to share some picks with y'all so you can come on and hopefully I can get back on the right track. I haven't been picking very well these last few weeks. So hopefully this is it, man. So if you guys have not gone ahead and jumped on there, get your $20 entry, man. That's free. It's free $20 just to play. Come on, man. Get in there, man. And do that thing. Do that thing. All right. So that being said, let me shout out to my guy Big Wit. What up, Whittle? Yo, people who act like multiple injuries to starters on both sides of the ball shouldn't matter are idiots and should be ignored. Well, injuries matter, but this is where I stand. I don't stand on the side of because these injuries have happened, this is why we're losing. That I'm not on board with, because those very things that happen, this is where a gem comes out of nowhere, right? There could be somebody on this team right now that comes out of nowhere due to an injury, and they step their game up, and they're the best thing since sliced bread, right? We've seen it before, and I can't think of anybody right now. But to solely say we're losing because of the injuries, and that shouldn't matter. It does matter when you lose players. When you lose Josh Allen, it's going to matter. You lose James Cook, it's going to matter. But to say that's the sole reason as to why teams don't have success, it's the next man up. And it really is a thing for me to be next man up. But to act like it doesn't matter, no, I'm with you, Whittle. Whittle, I'm with you with that. Like it does matter when you lose big time players. Like Josh Palmer going down, I think that changed the direction of that game, because it seems as though they had a great plan and they were going to involve him a lot, and it kind of, spread the ball out. But the minute that he was out, now I'm having to cover, Tyrell Shavers or Elijah Moore. I'm good, boy. I'm just going to, I'll lock down my man on this side and we'll call it a game. So it changed the game. And not having Kincaid obviously changed the game a lot. But we were still in the game. This is why the next man up. And at the end of the day, when you have Josh Allen, bro, all things should be, you should still be in every game. And we just didn't capitalize. That's what it came down to at the end of the day. All right. So let's make our picks for Thursday night. All right. Let me share my screen real quick. Let me close this and share my screen, and we're going to get right to it, folks. All right. Here we are. I might have to kind of adjust my screen. Can you guys see that all right? Hope you guys can. Hold on, let me a second. Hold on. All right, you guys should be able to see that, no problem. All right, so we've got the Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers. That should be an interesting one. So here's what we're looking at, folks. T. Higgins. They're saying T. Higgins, 37.5 yards. Really? With Joe Flacco? I think that he would go a little bit more off, but you know what? You got a pretty red hot Pittsburgh Steelers team right now with Jalen Ramsey holding it down. But Jalen Ramsey, which one are you going to call him? You're going to go T. Higgins, or you're going to go with Jamar Chase? I mean, some would say you would have to go Jamar Chase. That makes the most sense. So it just makes sense. So 37.5. I had to go over. How do you not go over? Like, they're going to be throwing the ball all over the yard. So you got to go over. So give me the more on T. Higgins. All right. Joe Flacco, 237.5 yards. Listen, I chose less, but I'm on the fence, because if they're behind, they're going to be whipping the ball all over the place. And Flacco, I mean, he's an old man, but he's still got a cannon for him, so he can still throw it. And he's got two bona fide big time receivers. So why not? And you got Gesicki on that squad, bro. There's big things that you can do. So I chose less because I don't know. I think this division games are just a lot closer. So maybe he's around that 220, 225 mark. So I went on the less. And then lastly, TJ Watt. Listen, TJ Watt, he's a monster. He'll definitely be all over Flacco. And then Boswell, 2 field goals. This is gonna be a field goal game. It's one of those, you know how those games go. 2 field goal game, bro. He's definitely gonna be hitting that. So give me more on T. Higgins, 37.5 yards. So if you guys want to go ahead and pace what I'm giving y'all, you might make a little something on the side, bro. Less on yards for Mr. Flacco. And then you got TJ Watt with 1 sack. Yeah, give me that. And then lastly, Chris Boswell, 2 field goals. Give me that. All right. So go ahead and jump in there. Look at that. 10 beans will give you what, 35, 70? Hey, listen, come correct, man. This is big time deals going on right now. So go ahead and handle that and go from there, folks. So if you have not got the app, go ahead and get that Sleeper app. You guys already know what time it is. The Sleeper app is one of the best apps out there. Fantasy football, when you want to get your live action, live updates, live on players, you go and you get all your updates right there. It's fantastic. So go ahead and use that promo code BF25 on the Sleeper app and get 100% matching up to $100 on the Sleeper app. Terms and conditions apply. So if you guys haven't gone ahead and handled yourself, go ahead and do that. You guys are missing out. I don't know what y'all waiting for. That's where it's all at. It's all there, ready for you to jump on there. And let's see if if your boy can help you out a little bit. Maybe I'm the guy that you should start listening to. No, I'm playing because I didn't really do a good job as of last time. So go ahead and get that. Terms and conditions do apply. So the sleeper terms used for details. Currently operational in over 25 states. Go ahead and check out Sleeper today, folks. So if you feel a tickle and you feel that your boy can help you out, go ahead and jump all over that. Go ahead and jump all over that. So that being said, that is my time, folks. If you guys enjoyed this show, you guys already know what to do. Smash that like. Oh, I didn't want to do that. There we go. Smash that like. Go ahead and smash that like and show your boy some love. Hit that like. Listen to my man, Jeff King. He came in and gave a call to action. Go ahead and handle that and do that for your boy. And we will catch you guys again potentially tomorrow to give you a update. Now, because they have the bye week, there's a lot of things that are going on. So if we don't give you an update tomorrow, we'll probably give you an update on Wednesday of next week prior to us playing the Panthers. So stay tuned and we'll see you back on Friday. I will not be on today's Friday show. It'll just be my guy Z-Bot. And the week after that, I won't be on the Friday show as well because I will be out of town at a wedding. So your boy's going to be suited and booted, ready to go. So my man Z-Bot's going to be holding it down. So we will see you then. So that being said, ladies and gentlemen, you guys have yourself a fantastic evening and we will catch you guys on the flip. It's your boy Rico. Let me get that bass going. Ooh. You guys have yourself a fantastic evening. It's the Buffalo Fanatics, the Rico Report. Catch you guys soon. Peace.